Video lights. Do you really need them? Are they overrated? Maybe, maybe not. But if there's one thing that I can tell you for absolute fact, there's way too many fucking options. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Jared with an I here. If you're new to the channel, this channel is all about giving you the confidence to lean into a full-time career as a wedding filmmaker. So if you're into that sort of thing, it would mean so much if you consider liking and subscribing. Today's video, I want to break down whether or not you actually need a video light for filming weddings, the pros, the cons, which ones I use that can hopefully help you eliminate that decision fatigue if you're in the market for one. So grab coffee, grab the dog for emotional support, and let's
rock this joint!
Let's start with why you might need a video light. Wedding receptions are generally when you need additional light support because these environments can be incredibly dynamic. Dimly lit dance floors, romantic candlelit dinners, dramatic uplighting. And while these different scenarios certainly create an ambiance for the guests, it can actually be a nightmare for your camera, especially if you're not rocking a full frame camera that has incredible low light capabilities. Filming in low light environments often means grainy footage, loss of detail in the shadows, slow autofocus, and your overall desire to even film this wedding. So here's the benefits of using lights during these receptions. Number one is image quality. With lights at your disposal, you're gonna be able to pump more light into the space, which is gonna help your camera's ISO, leaving you with a less grainy image. Number two is contrast. Now, as filmmakers, we're always looking to achieve that cinematic look, and lights give you the ability as the filmmaker to stylize your image through contrast, contour, shadows, which ultimately is gonna help elevate the feeling of this image. And number three is production value. Now, proper lighting is going to increase your film's production value. And again, it goes back to the feeling you're trying to create within your film. Professional lighting is gonna just help your film feel a lot more professional versus if you didn't go with lights during that moment. And not saying your film can't have a high production value without lights, but it really just boils down to contrast and making your frame feel a lot more interesting. Lighting isn't the only way to bring your story to life. Biggest difference maker in making or breaking your film lies within the music you choose. One song can change the entire mood of your film because music enhances emotion. Emotion creates authenticity, and authenticity is the golden ticket to making your films truly stand out. And that's why Musicbed is the only platform that can help you ditch those cookie cutter sounds and find music that is cinematic, that's authentic, and full of emotion. By choosing Musicbed, you're choosing music that connects with your couple on a deeper level and helps you create a film that's so much more than a wedding video, but a story-driven experience with a ton of heart in every single frame. So if you're interested in creating this feeling for yourself, head over to Musicbed. You can sign up for a 14-day free trial down in the description below. Now, of course, in my opinion, the pros of lighting your receptions is more than enough reason to invest in them and bring them to the next wedding you shoot. However, the cons are definitely worth talking about, and if you've been doing this long enough, you've experienced every single one of these. The first is complaints. That's one of the biggest reasons why I would love to just avoid lighting or having to worry about it altogether is based around the complaints that I've received over the years. And really not so much from the guests, but a big majority of that has been from the DJ. But I do get it. Video lights, especially if you're inexperienced in helping add to the ambience of the room, it can be a detractor for sure. And the next is just that potential intrusion on the couple's day. They do invest a lot in their venue and the overall feeling and ambiance of this space during this time. Again, you want to contribute to it, you don't want to take anything away from it, or create distractions that can just make people feel a little uneasy. Which is why it's just so important to communicate with your couple up front. Make sure no stone is unturned when it comes to your process around lighting. And three is simply the setup time. One thing that just genuinely stresses me out about filming weddings by myself is the added setup time of getting my lights in order, tripods, all the additionals that I really have to make sure is set, locked in, so that way I'm not scrambling when the moment arrives. Just having those extra things to think about just creates this bottleneck in my process and in my mind, and it can kind of throw me off. However, I just have to circle back, realize that it's not about me, it's about the couple, and all of these things contribute to creating that just unrivaled experience for their film. So it's totally worth just arriving an hour early, getting this stuff in order, so that way you don't have to stress about it later. So when it comes to the lights that you could consider, now I have a lot of different lights. I've been sent a bunch of different lights. I've tested out a bunch of different lights. Again, there's too many options, but it really has been great to experiment and find lights that are efficient and help me create without any kind of barrier. The first one that is an absolute powerhouse in a small compact size is the Zhun X100. Now I love this 100-watt light because it's small, it's compact, it's crazy bright. It has a detachable USB-C grip battery. You can control everything via an app, which is very, very good. It's very useful. The next light is a bit unconventional for weddings especially, but it is actually a really good option to consider. And that is the Zhiyun Cinepeer C100. Now I went with the tube light because I wanted a practical light solution. Something that could be an extension of the environment instead of having, just your traditional key and your fills. But this technique I actually saw from McLean from Hello Tomorrow Films, and I thought this is actually brilliant. And I love the simplicity and intimate feeling using this kind of light as a practical instead of using a key and a fill for dramatic contrast. It's different, and given the right setting on the wedding day, it's a less obtrusive way of lighting your speeches. But then of course, for my traditional key and fill light, I use the Amaran 60XS lights. These are 60-watt bicolor lights, app control, and my favorite thing about them is the built-in V-mount. That way I can just pop my SmallRig V-mount batteries on there, stay mobile throughout the day, and I'm good to go. And then the last light that I've been using a lot more recently is the Aperture MC Pro. Instead of lighting the dance floor throughout the entire night, I usually just light the speeches and then I switch over to the on-camera light with the MC Pro. I think an on-camera light solution is a great thing to consider so that you can avoid ruining the experience, altering the ambiance of the room, and still capture some genuine and authentic moments during this time. So, are video lights overrated? No, I don't think they are. I feel like they're more intimidating than they are overrated, because lighting is such a necessary tool, especially if you want to create work that just feels really professional, that has that cinematic feeling to it. But let me know in the comments, what is your relationship with lighting? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What's been your experience lighting the wedding reception? Either way, I'd love to hear from you. So until next time, keep creating and telling beautiful stories. Peace.